Are you a rental property owner who has had a tenant who has completely taken you on a ride over the security deposit? If you are, and you've had this experience, hit that thumbs up button so I know I'm not the only one. If you're a new rental property investor, hit that thumbs up button in hopes that this never happens to you. There's one simple thing that can be done, and I would consider it critical to do to keep the secure in security deposit. Like what I did there? Pretty good. Anyways, simple thing you can do, move in and move out inspections. It seems easy, it seems almost kind of pointless, but these may be the only things that can protect you from the tenant taking you on a ride about the security deposit. What do I mean by taking me on a ride about the security deposit? They put X number of dollars in on a security deposit, and when they move out, their hope is that they get that all back. If they have caused damage in the property, however, you as the owner withhold money from that security deposit to cover that damage. The ride I keep referring to is when they argue that the property was in that condition when they got it and they didn't cause the damage. Here's where it gets critical. Worst case scenario, they're going to take you to court over it. They may fight you tooth and nail over this. And if you don't have thorough documented move-in inspections at a minimum, if not also move-out inspections, you may not win the court case. It sucks, but it's true. So this should be motivation to pay a lot of attention to these move-in and move-out inspections. So let's talk about those a little bit. The move-in inspection, the purpose of that is to prove the condition of the property at the time they move in. So anything that happens to the property after that fact, you can definitively say the tenant caused that damage. Now, how do you do this? Here's where people go wrong. Most people tend to just take pictures of things that are wrong with the property, saying, oh yeah, this was wrong before they moved in. Cool. No, that's the opposite. Take pictures of everything that is right. I mean, take pictures of everything, but take pictures of everything that is right, because those things are already wrong. That's not what the tenant's going to fight you on. Those are already wrong. Let's say you have a perfectly good wall and they put a hole in it. You need a picture of that perfectly good wall to compare to the damage. So then when there's a hole in the wall, you can say, hey, here's the picture signed on whatever date. There was no hole in the wall. Ergo, tenant damage. On these move-in inspection reports, you need pictures of everything, more of the good than the bad, which is not intuitive, written descriptions of anything relevant, and signatures from both parties. Always, always consider worst case, if you have to go to court, what's going to hold up in court. That's your mindset about this. That's how thorough you want this document. Now, the move out inspection report is a little bit different. In normal cases, really more of the move out is just to tell you as the owner what to expect that you're going to have to do during the turnover. But in the case of a bad tenant, if the bad tenant is still around and you guys can document the condition of the property and everyone signed, that's all the more ammo in court. However, let's be honest, if your tenant was that bad in the first place, they've already probably headed for the hills. So the chances of them staying around to like sign an inspection report, probably not going to happen. But that doesn't mean that you can't go on the property and document everything, date it, sign it. Again, the more you have, because when it comes to this he said, she said thing, tenant versus landlord, there's not a lot to prove that they did cause the damage, unless you happen to have hidden video cameras, which I'm pretty sure that'd be illegal anyways. So you need these inspection reports. They are absolutely critical. So if you are the landlord on your property, this is your responsibility. You're in charge. Take pictures of everything, write everything out, get signatures. If you're a rental property owner who is working with a property management company, your job then is to ensure that the property management company is doing thorough inspection reports. This is where I got burned. I had a property management company who, they sent me the document saying, oh yeah, we did the move-in inspection, this room was good, this room was good. There were maybe 4 pictures in this inspection and they were not even high res. You couldn't see anything. And all it said was like, good, good, good. Well, when this tenant later moved out a couple of years ago, I don't want to say the property was in shambles, but it was not in good shape. And she began to argue, this is the condition it was in when I moved in. So I went back to the move-in inspection, and What do you know? There's not enough in that to counter her arguments, period. Do you know how much this turnover ended up costing me? $12,000. Carpet was destroyed, walls were messed up, the whole thing. And there was not anything that I could prove the condition of the property. This was on the property manager, but as the owner, ultimately I'm responsible. And what really sucks about this situation is the property manager is the one who goofed up, but guess who's responsible for the charges? I am. So this is where your responsibility as a rental property owner working with property managers comes in. Have them show you their detailed move-in inspection. Move-out inspections, a little bit more secondary. It's that move-in inspection with tenant signatures that is going to be what you as the owner end up having to take to court if it becomes a knockdown drag out. So if you want to potentially save $12,000 or some gigantic amount of money, make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Hit that big red subscribe button down below for more tips, weekly videos that hopefully will help save you. I don't want to say tens of thousands of dollars, but maybe tens of thousands of dollars.